What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box and our cover price top 10 list of the week. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. And let's get right to it, boys and girls. Let me kick it off like we used to. Let me make sure that everything is hunky-dory. Thank you so much. All right. And making sure we're live, guys, because you know how things are acting funky lately. So let's kick it off.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Somebody show that something. Hold on and get some, boys.
That is why they gonna be.
What's good, YouTubeites? Welcome to the third time you see me. I feel like I should have changed my clothes, man. You guys have been seeing me like all day today. It seems like this is the third time you see me, but this is the first time you've seen this handsome panel of members here. And we're going to, once again, it takes 5 to count to 10, but maybe 4.5 since I'm already tired from the rest of the week. So once again, I got my man, Zach. Say what's up, Milton the Manimal.
What's going on, everyone? Just trying to survive in these coronavirus times, trying to read every comic I can get my hands on.
That's right. Say what's up, Nemesis Prime.
What's going on, everybody? I ain't choking any bitches like Ezra Miller.
Oh, relevant. And say what's up, Otto.
What's up, your boys? Optimus Prime coming here from Moonbase Alpha 1 here out in lockdown. I am in lockdown and this social distancing, so I'm glad to hang out with you guys tonight.
And in from the ether, our man, Darkside Jedi.
What's up, everybody? Wednesday night, another top 10. This is a good one, and it's a little different than we've had. There's some same, but there's also some interesting ones.
Well, there'll be a Corona appearance. You know what? If Corona isn't on this top 10, give yourself a round of applause. That's what I say. Once again, this list is brought to us from our friends at CovrPrice.com. The only official partner of CovrPrice.com is Lords of the Long Box. If any other channel is doing a top 10 list and giving you the same percentage numbers, they're just pulling it off there and not giving CovrPrice credit for it. So check out our friends at CovrPrice.com, CovrPrice.com. And they got really cool stuff in there. And this is a top 10 list based off of sales data from eBay, Comet Link, Comet Heritage, all those sites that they aggregate into one place. And so it's multiple places and it's back issues. So guess what? This list can go on forever and ever, even if there's no new comics out there. We're right now working with our friends from CovrPrice. Once we hit 4,000 subs, so make sure if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like the video, and hit that notification button so you don't miss content when we go live. Like I did earlier, I did 2 live shows back to back and started off just like that. But we're working with our friends at Price, and when we hit 4,000 subs, which is about 300 away, we're going to do a CovrPrice membership giveaway, man, along with, you know, us. When we go 4,000, when we hit our 1,000 giveaways, we always go off. So it's going to be some comic books, some swag. We talk to all of our vendors, KRS Comics, Rocket Comics. We talk to the Geeky Swag Shop, and they're always nice enough to throw something in because they've been friends with us for a long time. But specifically CovrPrice, they're going to give us 4 6-month memberships for free. So if you get picked as a winner, you get to use CovrPrice.com free for 6 months. Right now, if you can sign up, you get a 2-week free trial. So it's definitely worth it. Take a test drive. Definitely some cool stuff. So before we get into the top 10, there's always what we like to call a runner-up, which was, almost made it to the top 10.
Number 11.
Quite. And Ryan is going to take that one. What's showing up as the number 11?
It's fitting that Darkside Jedi is talking about a Star Wars book. This is Star Wars number 1 from 1977.
Nice.
Now, we haven't heard anything from this book for months since the Star Wars movies were releasing. And all of a sudden, we have a 7-day trend of 139% increase. And a high sale of $975 for a CGC 9.8. I want this book to hit 1,000, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, this book is very undervalued, I think. And typically, this book is cyclical. So when there's a new Star Wars movie comes out, it kind of has a run on it. But if you think about it, this is the first appearance of Luke, of Leia and Obi-Wan, but Star Wars number 2 is the first appearance of Han Solo and Chewbacca. So maybe number 2 will show up on here. But a lot of people are building up because there's a lot of Star Wars coming out right now with the Mandalorian and some of these other Disney Plus series. We haven't even talked about the movies yet. That's still been to the. I don't know we're going to get with that, but that's a really nice, solid book. Any collector should have it. And if you really want to pay big bucks, get the 35-cent.
It's
copy.
35 cent.
Yeah,
Yep.
big baller.
Yeah,
book
that
right
one
there.
is expensive, man. That's next on my list. I have 2 copies of this, and in a 9.6. So 9.8 is kind of hard to find, especially you can see right there with the white cover or black cover, man. So if you get a 9.8,
That's a nice book. for 9.8.
I'm hesitant on selling it just because I'm a Star Wars fan. So I just hold on to it. It's just something cool to have in the PC, as the kids say. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what that means personal collection. All right, but let's get to it, right, boys and girls. What is number 10 on the list this week? And it's apropos that I think Justin takes this.
Well. We are back with another. Hey, there it is. Star Wars, Kanan the Last Padawan, number 1. I told you about this last week. I showed you all my copies, and it's still on this list this week.
And he bought them all last week.
And I will tell you,
it's 139% increase because of Justin's 60 books.
I will tell you that I did not buy any additional copies on eBay, or did I? But again, as we mentioned last week, this is the first appearance of a ton of people: Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Chopper, Zeb, Hera, and of course Sabine. And that is the one that is the most important. However, it is with rumors saying that Sabine will be showing up in the cast of Mandalorian 2. Nothing has been confirmed, but sales are still going. And we recommend definitely holding on to this one because, again, that's why I'm doing it. But this one did sell 12 copies in the past 7 days with an uptrend of 139% with a high raw sale of $10. And I will tell you that asking prices right now are in the 20 to 25 range on eBay. So
For the Mark Brooks variant?
well, this is just the regular cover A. There are several other covers. There's a Scotty Young. There's a 1 in 25. There's
No,
the
but
blank.
I think specific is right now is the Mark Brooks variant.
Yeah, and
Any idea what the ratio on this was? It a 1 in 10 or 1 in?
No,
I think
this
it's a
is
1 in 10
this
right
is just
now.
the regular cover. This is cover A. The Scotty
Oh,
Young
okay.
was a 1 in 10, and the Plunkett one was a 1 in 25.
Ah, okay.
So those are the different ones. And of course, there's always the blanks, and the blanks are really sometimes scarce because stores don't order blank covers because it's not just a, hey, I can order it. You do have to hit a minimum before you can actually get that blank. So
I would not mind seeing Kanan in a live action series.
I would like it.
I thought he was.
and they should
he
use
was
Freddie
pretty
Prinze
cool.
Jr.
Yeah, yeah, very cool.
He's
very
young
cool.
enough
I
to do
think.
it.
I mean,
Old
he goes
enough,
blind.
maybe.
Spoiler alert. But anyway,
there's a lot of things he does.
Where I was asking, hey, is he blind in the comics? Somebody goes, he's blind. I was like, ah,
Bilbo
shit.
Hauser asked a good question, and we did talk about this last week, I believe,
Yes.
with the number 1 being more valuable than number 6. Wasn't it because number 1 is the actual first appearance of Sabine?
Yeah,
And
Well, I think number 1
six
also has
is-
more first appearances in it, just in general, right?
Well, CGC considers number 1 on their label their first full appearance. They all appear in there. That's what the CGC label does. And, and we'll tell you this, guys, now, number 6 did completely drop off this list. So no surprise there.
Spoiler, what the hell?
I know,
man?
but I got to tell people. So don't go out and get
Alright.
the number 6. I mean, people, but you know what it is? You look at it this way. If you can't get the first appearance, you might as well get the second appearance.
Well, it is the first cover appearance, right?
Yes, number 6. They're all
Yeah,
on the
number
cover.
6 is the first cover. Yeah.
And that's really where all the characters do appear for that current storyline. But it is right here on the inside page 1 where you see them for the first time.
All right, so number 10 is Star Wars, Kanan, the Last Padawan, number 1. All right, number 9 on the list is Otto. What do you got for us, Otto?
We've got Batman 89, the hottest.
Still
book
going
around-
strong.
Still going
Going
strong.
super
Before the
strong.
world fell apart, Punchline came out in Batman 89, and this was a trend we expect. And she's going to remain on top until new comics ship again, and who knows? And here we are, we're waiting. So, it sold 20 copies. It had a 7-day trend of 90% and had a high sale of 149 in a CG 98. But again, guys, Diamond's not shipping. We're not getting new stuff. This book is going to stick around for a long time. So, expect to hear this on our list coming up.
All right, number 9 is Batman, number 89.
Number 8.
And next on the list
Yep.
is number 8. What do you got for us, Zach?
So if you guys have been watching, which hopefully you have been and should be on a lot of our spec talk, number 8 shouldn't surprise you that it's popped back up. We got Uncanny XMen number 266. So even without any spec, even without anything going on, this has been a hot X-Men book. One of the most affordable key X-Men books that are around there. We got the first appearance of Gambit here. If you watched one of our old videos, we talked about a potential Gambit Disney Plus series coming out. And a lot of movement with that and a lot of first appearances there. Check the archives and maybe you can scoop up some of those as well. But what we saw here is this sold 15 copies, had a 7-day trend of 126%, and had a high sale of $375 for a 9.8. So with $375, this book, it's a lot higher than it's been in the past, but it's still not a bad price, man.
That's still a great price. I mean, and the print run is relatively high on this, but there's also the I believe there's a newsstand variant for these as well. So, you know, once the people snatch up the direct stand, go get the newsstand. And, you know, I got to give Mikey Sutton a shout out for this, because we dropped a long-term spec list from our source, the Black Knight. I want to say a month ago, or 2 months ago, we had
about a month. Yeah.
So, you know, and Mikey just recently dropped a scoop for some other YouTube channels ran with it. So I think this got the Mikey Sutton effect. Mikey Sutton talked about this. Some websites ran with it, and now it's on our top 10 list. So
side note, this is the first CGC book I ever owned.
Nice.
So
there you go. Go back and check out our Gambit. You know what? I'll do it for you here. While I'm going to post it in the live link to the video in the live chat. So if you know the Gambit movies show is coming to Disney Plus, start specking on those characters that we had on a long-term spec list. Because, you know, if he's coming, then this, because we got this from our man, a Black Knight. He said, hey, I got a list of reserve characters that's going to be done for the Gambit show. I mean, the video got okay, nothing to the point where it's up on our top 10 list, but I'm going to post a link to that video so you can go out there and snatch those comics up. But next up is number 7 on the list. What do we got for number 7?
Well, this is a really interesting book to be on this list. And if you guys have been either subscribed to CovrPrice for quite a long time, this book hasn't shown up on this top 10 list in quite a while. But Amazing Spider-Man number 300, of course, first appearance of Venom. But with no new comics, what are the collectors turning to? They're turning to Venom. It did sell 17 copies in the past 7-day trend with 114% upsell, with a high in a 9.8 of just over $2,000. And I think that's kind of the news with, you know, the movie, that it is confirmed. We still are hoping that it's coming out relatively soon this year, because there hasn't been any delay as far as we know. But this book always has potential, and it will always stick in that $2,000 range. So if you're looking for it now, now's the time to buy it.
Oh, man. Because I have a 9.6, and the 9.6 are expensive, and you got to think, man. I mean, 9.8 for 2, and for the 90s, this was a high print run. So for now, I mean, that's an astronomical print run if you think about it. But that's kind of I thought everybody, you know, had them already, to be honest with you. But there's been a lot of news dropping about like Venom 2 and supposed things going on with. So I think people are finally starting to, because you remember Venom 1 gave it a little nudge. But now, you know, they're thinking the Venom 2 and Carnage and everything else. I would expect Carnage is going to show up on this list pretty soon, too.
Think about those people who spend $100 a week at the comic book store. They're not spending that right now. Exactly. So guess what they can do?
Yeah.
You know, and this is a book that regardless of week by week is never going to go away for so many reasons. The cover is just so epic with the black suit Spider-Man, the first appearance of Venom, the Todd McFarlane. I mean, this is a classic. This book will never go away.
Yeah, it's definitely a modern classic of those.
Thunderhouse of Zion is obviously a fan of the channel. Says, make Otto say those Cajun names again.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try this. Otto, who's going to play Blade in the movies?
I know who that is, and that guy is Mahershala Ali.
Points.
Points. Yeah, I said it right. See, it only took a year of practicing. You know,
yeah,
that's a good one. That's a tough one, man.
But I mean, the first time he said it, though, that was some, that
was awful. So go back in the archives and check.
And what's that comic book called? Hair to the Empire.
Yeah, Hair to the Empire. Yeah, Otto has we're gonna call them Ottoisms from now on.
It's where they get Palpatine a wig. Hair to the Empire.
Yeah, Hair to the Empire.
All right, so number 7 on the list is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, y'all. All right, next up on the list is number 6.
Right, and so we're gonna stick with the symbiotes. We're gonna stick with Venom, Lethal Protector number 1. All right, it came out obviously in 1993, you guys, and not only are the old buyers sticking to the standbys, but they're focusing on the more affordable keys, right? So if you can't afford the ASM 300, what do? You buy a couple copies of this, you send them in, you hope for the 9.8. You know, his first solo series. It's a very nostalgic cover from the 90s. And, you know, it sold 14 copies and had a 7-day trend of 154%. And I had a high raw sale of 75. But when you're looking at 9.8s, the 9.8 average right now, there was 501 sales. The average is 82. The high sale went all the way up to $528. So, but, you know, with 501 items out there, there's quite a bit. You know, you can go down the list, and then from the 9.8 average sale to a 9.2, you're looking at almost half for $47. Raw copies, there was a raw copy sale for a high sale of $260, which was very high. And then you can get low sales for like $1.99. Who knows what those conditions were, but you're looking at an average of like $9 for this book. And
and this is a very interesting book because this is a double-edged sword. The thick cardstock on it makes it easy to get a 9.8. The reverse side of this used to line dollar bins everywhere in the 90s. Nobody gave a shit about this book. So it was loved and read a lot. And so that's why
there's the first appearances in this book are dog shit characters, like, I mean, honestly,
you really think, Zach?
No, it's the truth. It's guys you never saw.
Storyline is the storyline because supposedly the Venom Lethal Protector was supposed to be the storyline, just like how part 2 is going to be Maximum Carnage. I would say, if you're really looking for rare books, go and find the error for this. Go to recalledcomics.com, look up, there's a all black cover. It was a printing error, and so there's a handful of them out there, maybe more than a handful, but I think there's black and there's another color because obviously in the 90s when these kind of gimmicky covers came out, they were not perfected yet by any means of the imagination. So in the 90s there was quite a few of late 80s, 90s, when the gimmicky cover started coming out, there's quite a few error comics. Just go to recalledcomics.com and you'll see it right around this because they had not nailed. And nowadays they come out with these things, the printing process, whatever method they use, they've nailed it down so that you see quite few errors. Bleeding Cool posted a book that I think is going for like $1 million. It's either a DC book with a Marvel cover or vice versa.
It's DC Teen Titans. I can't think of the issue, but the inside is Marvel 2-in-1. So CGC gives it a green label. That happen? I don't know. CGC gives it a green label, and yeah, you're right. The guy was trying to sell it for over $1 million. Well, over $1 million.
But how does that even possible? I can understand the same publisher, but we're talking a totally different publisher with a different cover. It's almost to me like thinking somebody did this shit on purpose.
That was an inside job all day. That was an
well, they said because the printing companies at the time they were using the same printing company at the time.
Oh yeah.
So that's what
So somebody on a Friday night said, "Look, we're gonna mess around. We're gonna swap this with this and see what happens." And look,
what sucks is why is it a green cover though?
Because it's like almost like a manufactured cover in a way. Like if someone mangled it and re-put like a new cover on
is it a fixed price
what's the shipping
auction or is it
to buy it now?
What are they? No, to buy. He ain't gonna get $1 million for that shit. Not unless
he's gonna pay how much? 130,000.
It's $1 million. He's asking $1 million for it.
But if he gets $1 million, he'll pay 130,000 in fees, right? 13%.
Well, hey.
Jesus,
well, I mean, if you put it in auction, it's 30% to the auction house.
Is it 30%? That's that much.
Typically, if you go to Heritage, they take 30% right off it, right there. 10%. Well, because they're doing all the hard work for you. So apparently, just put it on a Lord's auction. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, the book gets sold for $250. The dude's gonna be pissed.
Hey, it's a Lord's auction. This is others auction. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Next up on the list. So number 6 was Venom Lethal Protector. Number 1, number 5 on the list. We're halfway there, boys and girls.
Number 5, we've got X-Men number 4. So we've been seeing this book a lot the past couple weeks.
Has legs,
obviously. And this is just along the lines with the Uncanny XMen 266. It's another X-Men book that's really just been super popular these past couple years. Super affordable as well. Great cover, Jim Lee era. His first appearance of Omega Red. There's been a lot of talk about him possibly making an appearance in this Falcon Winter Soldier Disney Plus series coming out. So it's really been popping a lot lately. Yeah. But anyway, it sold 25 copies this week, had a 7-day trend of 93%, and had a high sale of $140 for a CGC 9.8. We also have the highest known value of this book at $225. So you're talking a really, really affordable key issue with just an iconic, great cover here. If you're an X-Men fan, you got to own it.
And I will say this, we're not going to talk about it, but there's been a new release schedule for all the Disney stuff and the Marvel stuff, obviously. But since all these things have been pushed back, and obviously the productions of like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and all those things have been pushed back, this is a great time to go out and buy stuff. If you get insider information like this,
don't go out and buy stuff.
Or what I'm saying. Go put on your pants and go on eBay and just go at it. You know what I mean? Great time to catch, because guess what? no new comics, man. So you know what? I would imagine auctions and YouTube right now or eBay are very competitive. You know, it's a good time if you're a seller, a good time if you're a buyer because there's just more stuff to buy. And also support your local comic book shops if you can. My shop, yes, Comic Tunes and Toys. Mike is still doing a sale. You call him up. I mean, he's very, very helpful. He's very customer service based. I mean, he's literally told me where people have asked him for stuff and he'll just go through his entire shop to find anything. They'll give him just a character and be like, these are the characters that I have. So, I mean, you know, I'm working with Mikey's to where I'm going to help him out and do a live sale. And we're not going to do it on Instagram. I figure on YouTube, much larger audience here, we can help out Mikey, and he's got some great books. So it'll be like similar to other sales you see, like Discover Bay does it, some other cats do, where you just put the book up there, you put a letter on it, so whoever claims on it, and it's going to be fixed pricing. It's not going to be auctions, and for God's sake, don't lowball unless you're if you're going to buy 5 books and say, hey, what kind of deal can you give me on all 5 of these? But I talked to Mike earlier. And we'll do it live from his shop. So we'll quarantine ourselves so we don't get each other sick just in case. And then we're going to do something on Mikey's shop because you know what? In California, we're shelter in place till end of April. And maybe even I don't expect us going back to see anytime soon because you just can't turn on the faucet and be like, everybody, because then we're just back to square one. So even back at work, I can imagine us for people who work in cubicles, maybe you got an empty cubicle in between you and the next person, right? I mean, I work for a healthcare company. So I think I've been told, and the people are talking about that everybody's going to get tested before they come back to work. Makes sense, right? You don't want to, our company is our department at least is relatively small. We run 5 hospitals. We're the IT clinical analyst team, so we can do that. But can you imagine large companies like GE or somebody? Hey, we need to test everybody before you guys come back in the office. But that's neither here nor there. So let's get back to it, boys and girls. Number 4 on the list is a returning customer.
Real quick, Tim, I just wanted to talk about Comic Tunes and Toys. I actually contacted Mike earlier in the week. And I will say I gave him a list of about 30 books and he came through. He actually found about 15 of them. And I spent about $130 with him. It was a really smooth transaction, just helping out. And I'm guys, I'm in Jersey and they're in California. Yeah. I've never, been to Comic Tunes and Toys. I've always heard about it from Tim. So he was really easy to work with. He literally shot me pictures of the stuff that he had. I said, all right, I'll take it all. Everything that was on my list, he was able to find at least half of it. And I even picked up a CGC 9.8 book for under $100.
Ooh, I got lucky enough to see that shop.
We may do is, you guys don't even know about his storage unit and the back room. I'm going to post a video tomorrow for New Comic Book Day. He has a back room that has at least 400 long boxes, and those are full of keys. One time I went back there and he's like pulling out keys left and right. And I mean, he goes, I may dig into those. So you never know, man. Just stay tuned. I'm going to work out something with Mikey because he doesn't want to get overwhelmed because he's working by himself. So we may do a sale and just pull out keys from the back room because right now you're seeing all the stuff inside the store and in the long, but he has a back room where he puts all of his keys. So basically what he does is all the wall books, once they come off, then he starts putting new stuff up there. One comic gets sold, he puts another one up there. So we may go deep dig in those long boxes.
It's the Timbo coming out of the closet sale.
That's right, boys and girls. All right. So next up on the list, as I said, a returning customer and number 4 on the list.
Book ain't coming off the list anytime soon. No, Nightwing number 70. So again, rumors can skyrocket a book in minutes, and this is true. Yet, I mean, it takes a few weeks for buyers to recognize the correction. And again, this was all because someone thought Punchline was appearing in this, but clearly it's not. But however, at this point, maybe it's because the Joker War is coming. And this, again, is the Journey to Joker War. It has sold 26 copies in the past 7 days with an uptrend of 95%, with a beautiful high sale in the Raws for $16. And it was a $4.
You got to think people know when Punchline's not in it, right?
Oh,
I mean, it's got to be because of Joker War. People are still buying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope everybody here knows because we've talked about it at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people are just buying it also because it's going up. It's an easy book out there to snag up and flip.
And it is a dope cover, you guys. I mean, that is a pretty cool cover.
It fits like a glove. That's why you buy it. If the glove fits, you must not acquit.
Yeah,
it's always all those books sometimes are like those DC tie-ins. It's surprisingly when they go up, and when they did the Dark Knight Metals, remember when obviously Teen Titans is a big book, but then they had that Suicide Squad and Green Arrow, and those were hot books for a minute because they were all part of the Dark Knight Metal.
Highest Raw sale, $49.99 for that book. That's crazy.
Yeah. So number 4 on the list, boys and girls, is Nightwing number 70. All right, getting close to number 3 on the list.
Oh, this is a fan favorite of Otto right here. This is Omega Men number 3. All right. This is your first appearance of Lobo. This book came out in 1993. It's an affordable key that should be way worth more than what it's going for.
83.
What's that?
83.
Oh, 83, absolutely. And it's just the first appearance of Lobo. You know, it actually sold a bunch of copies. 23 of them sold, a 7-day trend of 108% and a high sale of 188 for a 9.8, which is where you want to be. Now, this book, you know, when it first came out, Lobo was very violent. He ripped the eagle wings off one of the characters in the Omega Men. It was very violent. It was very over the top. But then nobody really heard from Lobo. And then Deadpool came out, Cable came out, and DC said, you know what? We need to revamp this. We need to bring him back. And they did different iterations of him. But comic book wise, sale wise, there was a high sale of $312. The average sale is about $202. But then from a 9.8, you go down to a 9.4, you're only looking at $72. And then a 9.0 is at like $55. The average raw sale is $35. You know, you could see this on wall books. You know, dealers will have it for anywhere from $20 to $40 depending on it. If you can find a high-end copy, I would do it and have it submitted, or just go out, you know, see if you can get it for under. I think this book is a great book for under $150. And it is a DC villain, and he's been on Krypton, he's been in cartoons, he's been in video games. Lobo's just a really cool character, and I'm very curious to see what made the resurgence in this character, but just a fan favorite of Otto. So
yeah, this book has gotten some kind of peaks and valleys over the last few years because of the different properties. He kind of popped up on TV, the Krypton series, and then supposedly was supposed to be in the DCEU, but then you have the DCEU got reshuffled, but still a key, you know, most wall books, you see this book out there, you know what I mean? Yeah. All you bastages should get this. But yeah, so I always thought he was like the kind of Wolverine-ish, kind of Deadpoolish, because he was the tough guy, but he smoked a cigar, trying to make a Wolverine type of character. Mm-hmm. So in the 80s, and I remember I collected Omega Man because of my cousin. He's like, "Hey, do you like the X-Men and New Mutants? You should read the Omega Man." I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Man, this is some weird ass shit. It is a really, it is a weird comic, man, because it doesn't really tie into anything in the DC comics. It really takes place on its own. It's kind of like the Micronauts, right? It's in the microverse. But the Omega Man, there was a cat-like chick in there. Yep. That was kind of, I was kind of strangely aroused because I was, 1983. I was like 12 years old, man. Show me a cat chick on a cartoon, I'm gonna get a little. Yeah,
it was very risque. It was very violent. It had lots of different aliens in it, and it was just some trippy stuff. And Keith Geffen,
it was very weird. But I remember they tried to make him this kind of anti-hero, cursing, smoking, Deadpool, Wolverine.
He was a fun character to play on the Injustice game.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he was a downloadable character, and it was a a lot of fun.
Did he have a motorcycle in it?
It was
power,
like
really?
a motorcycle.
He literally, he's the same thing as Wolverine.
Yeah, he heals.
He is super healing. You chop off his arm, it grows back.
He's a bounty hunter that basically
he's a bounty hunter. He's the last of his kind. The only thing that he abides by is once he signs a contract, he will do whatever it is to complete that contract. And that's the only
kind of like Neil Adams.
He's like the guy. He's like the guy from Raising Arizona.
Okay.
The motorcycle guy.
There you go. That's the perfect analogy. All right. So the suspense is, what is number 2 on the list? Last week, it was a comic that I hated with a passion. It is it?
Nope.
Yay! Give yourselves a round of applause for not putting that god-awful book onto the list. There you go. Everybody clap out.
Everyone has some sense.
Yes, we are coronavirus free now on the top 10 list.
So
shout out to all you collectors.
Yeah. So this week we got Spawn number 1, which actually has kind of been popping around in different iterations these past couple of weeks on our top 10. We've had Spawn. We also had the first appearance of the Spawn Gunslinger. But once again, Spawn number 1 is back. Obviously, super affordable. First appearance here. 90s comic, classic. Sold for 31 copies. Had a 7-day trend of 86% and had a high sale of $125 for a 9.8. I'm also looking on CovrPrice, and this is crazy as hell, man. I didn't know this. Highest known value of this comic was at a 9.9, sold for $2,200, $2,280, sorry. And then 9.8 highest value was a $410. So this book is, there's a lot of these books out there, but dang, a 9.9 at $2,280, that's crazy, man.
Would you buy that? Would anybody buy that? I don't know if
No.
I'd.
I'm
do
not a
that.
Spawn
that
guy,
grade.
but it's
You're
cool.
I'm not either.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. The first 25 issues of Spawn are fantastic. I mean,
They are. They're good stuff.
Yeah,
Todd
I
McFarlane's
read
not
I read
writing.
the first 50 issues, and the writing is horrible. McFarlane is not a good writer.
No, he didn't write a lot of those. He didn't write. Alan Moore famously wrote. Neil Gaiman wrote.
Yeah, he
some
wrote,
issues.
but
Yeah.
they didn't step in for a little while. He wrote the first 10 issues for sure, and it's just not good.
No, he didn't write number 9.
The art
Number 9 is the first appearance of Angela. That's Neil. Is it Neil Gaiman that wrote that?
Yes.
I want to think. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Spawn was best when Todd was doing the art and he got guest writers.
Yeah.
Once he started writing, it's just he's
it's
a
not
great artist.
good. Yeah.
Ask me what I think about Jennifer Lopez.
What do you think about Jennifer Lopez, Tim?
She's a good dancer.
Okay.
So that because that's just saying, yo, bitch she can't sing for a damn. But always positive is what I'm saying. Boys and girls, accentuate the positive. Don't
She got
look
a
at
fat ass.
That's why I said Todd McFarlane, great artist. Don't know about the rest of what he does though. So
Good toy design.
all right, so
Yeah, good toy designer. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
number 1 on the list. What could it be, boys and girls? Is it that? No, it's not. That's right. Number 1 on the list, boys and girls, is Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, number 3. Man, this book is getting some legs. And I don't know. I'm just saying, man, on the long-term spec list, we said DC and Warner Brothers has finally figured out that, hey, we got a hot comic here. So they've reserved Punchline to be used in an upcoming DC film. Not saying she's going to get her own solo film, but hey, maybe as one of the Batman's villains or something, maybe a Birds of Prey 2 sequel if there's going to be one. But Punchline's got legs, man. So Punchline is number 1. And as we mentioned with Batman 89, she's locked into the hot list until the world resets itself. This week it sold 32 copies, had a 7-day trend of 101%, and had a high sale of 132 for a CGC 9.8. This is only going to go up because first run of CGC books were done on-site grading. So if you figure... what was that? C2E2, right? So you figure 3 months after C2E2, you're going to see more graded copies come out for sale. The people who had the 9.8s may be putting more out there now. Ryan got a killer deal on a 9.8, so you never know. I mean, I think this is great for DC, and it's just really bad luck on their part that this pandemic happened and they aren't able to continue making out the comics. And, I was really looking forward to that art variant, to be honest with you.
What's
I know I've
interesting-
already
what's
paid
interesting-
for it, and I'm waiting for it.
What's
I know, I
interesting
paid for
about
mine
this-
too.
What's interesting about this is that the what was it, Batman number 80 or what, 89, the one we just
89,
had, the top sale was 150, and the top sale for this is 132. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Someone would
Well,
pay more for
but
that
more
other
copies are being bought of this. Like I said, once people are getting both, you know what I mean? When we had I sold both. You got to have, it's like, yin and yang. You got to have both, man. So people are getting up 89, 90. It would have been interesting if the world didn't fall apart when the art journal was 92 came out.
Yeah, 92.
And then also, when was the Joker origin of her supposed to come out? When
It's
was
going to
that?
be the Joker
end of the
anniversary.
month.
It was going to be in April.
Yeah, see, that would have been, I think that book would have made the list easily because that was going to finally tell us who she was.
So the other thing is too, I was just cruising through CovrPrice. The highest known value of those two between 89 and Hell Arisen. Hell Arisen has the highest sale for 260 versus Batman 89's 231. So I think in the long term, we will see that. Yeah, Hell Arisen is going to be the key.
And 20 years from now, you're going to have the Hulk 181 to beat. It's going to be the same price. It's going to be about $10,000 for this book, Hell Arisen number 3. And I'll have my 3 copies in 10 years from now. So holler at your boy if you know. Kind of funny.
We're going to be in retirement homes in 10 years. Who are you kidding?
Mime is off the list totally now. Have you noticed this? So that's why this list is really interesting because it sees how collectors specifically are buying these up, because this is the back issue market. These aren't people buying new comic book day books, ordering and your order of 900 copies or whatever. This is what collectors are buying in the back issue markets. This is people buying on eBay and My Comic Shop and all those things that our friends at CovrPrice are compiling the data on. So this really gives you a good kind of a snapshot of what's going on in the collector community. And I was like, I've always been wanting to do something like this, not so much speculating on stuff that hasn't come out yet, and I say that because we use stuff that's based on movies and TV shows that we have privy to inside information. But there's other things where people like looking 2 months in advance saying, hey, this could be hot. And there's really no way to tell that. But it's really good to use real actual sales data to tell you, yeah, this is hot, by the way. How do I know? Well, it's because it sold 50 copies in 1 week. It doesn't seem like a lot, but we're talking about the back issue market now. So 50 sales on eBay for a random book that came out 10 years ago, something's going on. We've talked about it for a long time. Let me turn on graphics off. So everybody put your clothes back on. And we talked about it ad nauseum before. That's how I met the Black Knight. That's how I met Mikey Sutton. That we always said there is a secret cabal of collectors that are privy to inside information. They start buying up all these comics before anybody tells you or it's leaked out. So the key is they know it's coming out and they don't care about getting it first or being, the face of it. And, they go out and say, hey, man, I'm a greedy bastard. I'm going to buy up 20 copies of this before anybody finds out. And that's the best way to speculate and flip, right? I mean, it's not, if you have insider trading, but it's legal in a way. All right, boys and girls, tomorrow, of which got a long-term spec list from a man, Mikey Sutton. It's kind of a scoop and spec list in one because it's about a new Disney Plus Marvel show that's coming, and we have a list of characters that they want to use for it. And one of them, I think, has been on our long-term spec list about 4 months ago. Was it 4 months ago? 5 months ago? Like I don't want to give too much away, but tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. We're going to go live with our Disney Marvel long-term spec list and scoop all in one, boys and girls. So you got you don't see me for 4 or 5 days, and then you saw me 3 times a day, and you're gonna see me tomorrow, and then I'll go back into hiding and I'll do the same thing again next week. So all right, any last words, Zach?
Nope, that's all I got. Thanks for sticking by. We got a lot of people today, with something like 98 at High Point, I think, watching. So.
I think the notifications are working again. I'm gonna tell you what, when we started doing it, then looking at something going on, there was only 40 people in the live chat. Normally for the CovrPrice show, we've only been doing it like 4 or 5 weeks now, but we typically get 100 people on our scoops, our long list. We'll get like 140, 150 auctions, 200. But man, those notifications were killing me. And I'll be happy to say I'm starting to get notifications from other YouTubers as well. So it wasn't just me. And I'm wondering if it was only live show notifications weren't popping up, like if you were to just post a pre-recorded video that was posting. But shout out everybody that stuck around with the channel and getting us up there. So don't forget, guys, like the video, leave a thumbs up, and we're close to it. We need about 300 more subscribers to get to 4,000 subs, and we're going to do another giveaway. And I think Otto and Justin can talk about the giveaway they have going on. Justin, any last words?
Yeah, I just dropped a top 50 graded variant comics in my collection today, part 1.
Yeah, but I gotta do mine. Shit.
Let me tell you, it's crazy. I had all the slabs out, and then I had to just go through them and figure out which ones are going to be making the top 50. But part 1's out on 3 Men in the Basement's channel, part 2 coming next week, and then part 3. So definitely go check out that channel. A lot of editing went into that video, so I hope you guys can check it out. Otto, tell them about what's going on this week.
Yeah, so this week, right now, you guys, please head over to our 1,250 subscriber giveaway. We have 5 items to give away, 4 from Rocket Comics, 1 from the Geeky Swag Shop. We're only 35 subscribers away, and that leads into my next thing. So get on that video, sub up, comment, and in the comments of the 1,250 subscriber video, all you have to do is hashtag 3MIB to get entered into it. And then hopefully we'll get those 35 subs by Friday. So we're going to do another live show this Friday with our good friend, Very Gary. He's going to come on the 3 Men in the Basement channel. He hosted us last week. I've got 4 to 5 mail calls, not CGC books, but not.
What are their names? Who are these lucky guys' names?
What's that? For what?
For your mail call.
Your mail call.
Oh, yes.
Who are these mails that you're talking about?
Well, I got one from Comic Tunes and Toys. I've got one from.
You got the joke.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Anyway,
okay.
Guys you are. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So make sure you watch out for our Friday night show on 3 Men in the Basement and our 12.
Auto comment in the live chat so people can easily click on your channel name and subscribe.
Yep. Okay, I'll absolutely do that. All right. Well, we got.
You're gonna do it every 250 subscribers. So you're gonna do 1,500, 1,750, 2,000, 2,250.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right. I'll be in a retirement home by the time we hit 2000. But anyway, got to be optimistic. So that's absolutely right. 1250, 500, 750, and then 2000. So we should be there pretty soon. So everybody, thanks. Yeah, 3MIB Men in Black. You got it. But thanks for your support on Lords of the Long Box and also 3 Men in the Basement.
Do you have ADD,
and Darkside
Otto?
Jedi. Any last words?
I'm just wondering if Otto has ADD.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay. All right, me too.
Of course it does.
I got nothing. Good night. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow at 6 p.m., boys and girls. Still waiting for Otto to leave his comment in the live chat so people can sub your channel. I'm like delaying for you, Otto.
No, I know. I'll do it right now. But, I got supporting cash to be helping me out here. There we go.
Hey, I'm on my channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking, we got Dave in the Cave and Roger hanging out. Let's see.
Oh.
But they're not on your channel. That's why you want to type in your name.
Type in, just say hi or sub up.
Otto has been going crazy at home.
I know.
There you go. You see that, boys and girls? See, it says 3 Men in the Basement. Hi, sup. So just click on that 3 dots next to his name and say block. No, just kidding. Click on the 3 dots next to his name and then say go to channel and then sub up and make sure you hit that notifications. It's very important to hit the notifications when you sub up to a channel, especially right now when you're seeing all this stuff that's coming out. But we will see you tomorrow, boys and girls. So I will post that video. I'm going to post a link. I'm going to start working on the video now. So it'll be scheduled for tomorrow. So we will be live at 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow on this channel with our long-term spec list for a Marvel show on Disney Plus. So till next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.